Well, alrighty. What's going on, everybody? This is Mike and Joe here.
You're conscious about it now.
Yeah, you're damn right I am.
It is I will say this, it is the best way to start it. Like it's weird to try to start it any other way. I don't
Well, you
know.
know what? I think it's like every like show has their kind of like niche. Like that's their, you know what I mean? Like everybody kind of starts their stuff the same way. So hey.
Yeah, but I don't think you noticed it until I've made that, did you?
Oh no, I did notice it. Not right away though. I noticed it like maybe like a few weeks in, but yeah, no, I definitely knew. Yeah, I knew it was a thing. But
Yeah, I picked up on it when I started listening back and I was like, wow, he starts the same way every single podcast.
tell me if you feel the same way about this, right? So we're approaching week 16. And now
Mhm.
for me, every week that we've like we've looked at it and we said what week it is, I've always felt like, oh, damn, wow, it's only this week. Like we still got some more time left in the season. Seeing week 16 now feels like, whoa, like now we're really almost at playoff time.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, for most teams, it's basically a playoff game. You know, like I forget who I was. I don't. I think it was like a football on Sirius XM today. I was listening to NFL Sirius XM that said 15 of the 32 teams have 6, 7, or 8 wins, which is like wild card position. 15, so that's one less than half. So those teams are fighting for their playoff hopes and lives. So 15 teams are basically in the playoffs right now, like basically playing playoff games right now, including the ones we're about to talk about, which is incredible.
I was gonna say, meanwhile, the winner of the NFC South might end up with more losses than wins, just chilling.
For the second year in a row.
Yes, that's
For the
true.
second year
I
in a row,
mean,
and they had Tom Brady in that division.
Nick Wright said, "Is there that much of a difference from Baker Mayfield this year to Brady from last year's season?"
You heard it here. Yep. Nick Wright is 100% right. Baker Mayfield is the next Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Mayfield's apex is Brady's freaking 35th season in the NFL. I mean, hey, I'll take it, but hey, I love Baker. So.
hey, we love Baker. We love Baker.
All right.
But yeah, let's get right into this. Because oh my God, dude, I have people coming over here to watch this game. I told people I'm like, I am hyped for this one because it is such an important game for my Rams. It is such an important game for these guys. And obviously the Saints as well.
I was gonna
Very
say, yeah.
important game for them as well. Arguably more because they could win their division. Rams obviously can't. But obviously liking the Rams this year, it is a huge game for me. I am going to be very, very involved in watching this one. And I will be taking the Rams in this matchup. I think they're overall the better team. The Saints, I don't. The Rams just seem like more solid a group than the Saints do to me. The Saints have their pretty moments. I would say that the Rams have prettier moments, and even when they're not having their pretty moments, they're still a solid team. Whereas the Saints, when they're not like like doing their what is it breakdance moments, they suck. So I think that the Rams should be able to take this one, barring some underperformance by them.
Um, yeah. So I actually think that the Rams are gonna win this too.
Hmm.
But I mean, like you said, and I think I'm not saying I don't think you have any bias towards this, but I'm just saying bias aside, like I think you also agree that like this game could easily go either way. Like it really could. Um,
I mean, any game could go either way. I think
no,
I think
I'm just saying
these
that.
are. I was just gonna say I think these two teams might have the same record, but I don't think that it's any. That I don't think. I think it would be kind of mind blowing if someone were to say I think the Saints are currently better than the Rams.
I don't think it would be personally. I think you could say that the Rams have much more potential than the Saints, and you would be correct about that. But if we're looking at this season in particular, with the way that it's went, I don't think both of these teams are the same teams, but no, neither one of them are that much better than the other to where it would be like shocking if either of them lost this game, you know?
I s- well, yes, if either of them lost the game, but if someone were to say, I think the Saints are definitely a better team, I would say, well, first of all, let's start with what positions do you think they have better personnel? And that is, no positions in terms of healthiness, because you could argue the corners and stuff, but I don't think Marshawn Lattimore is out there anymore right now. Yeah, I don't even know if he's a safety or a corner. I don't pay attention to that shit. But if you're talking offense, it's every single position is better for the Rams. Most of the positions for defense, you got Aaron Donald. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't see any world where the Saints are better than the Rams, but obviously it is any given week, and it's not like this would be the craziest upset of the week. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that the Rams are unanimously the better team, but it wouldn't be the upset of the week if the Saints were to win.
All right.
Let's go Rams. Over 500.
We'll see.
You want to know what I heard today? Is so they do have a tough couple games after. I know
No,
they
they
have.
just got the Giants and the Niners.
Okay, so they have the
They have
Giants,
one tough
which
game.
we'll see how the Giants are looking after this week. But dude, you want to wait. That's not what I was trying to say. We're not emphasizing that. We're walking by that. I heard if the Niners win their next two games, they clinch the conference. So they could be resting people for that last game against the Rams.
Good point. Good point.
That's what I was going for. We'll talk about the
But
Giants now.
but you also got Shanahan still coaching at the end of the day, and anybody with a pulse on that Niners squad can freaking win a game with that. But just keep that in mind. But continue.
Well, we'll see. Well, I mean, they could. Yeah, I know that at the quarterback position, that's obvious. But we're saying that they're probably going to rest Debo,
No,
probably
I
going to rest
know.
IU,
I got you.
McCaffrey for sure. It's a damn miracle he's only been at one game this year.
I got you.
All right, Bengals Steelers. Jamar Chase. I'm hearing that he's not ruled out for this weekend. I think he's ruled out for this weekend personally. It sounds like some Tyreek Hill business here. I'm thinking he'll definitely, if they do make the playoffs, he'll definitely be back, which is very fortunate. Kenny Pickett started practicing again. I still don't think we're going to see him this week. So we're talking a Mason Rudolph led Steelers team versus a T Higgins wide receiver core led Bengals team. I'm taking the Bengals though. I mean, there's not much that has changed about how good I think the Bengals are, other than obviously losing Chase. Mixon can make up for that. Browning has been baller, and Steelers just have not. Like who? Oh, they played the Colts. Deontay Johnson had some really good plays against the Colts. I thought there were a couple of moments that were not there during the Patriots game. I definitely think they looked better. Just to answer the question, do you know when they put in Mason Rudolph? Was that just for the last couple drives, right? Because I wasn't able to watch the full game.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they just used him for the last couple drives. So, I guess we'll see if we get a full taste of Mason Rudolph this weekend. I'm not sure if they're starting with him. But I don't think it's gonna matter at the end of the day. The Bengals, they're hot. I don't think they're gonna win out because usually hot teams die down a little bit after 4 or 5 wins, and I think they're either at 4 or 3 right now, but I think they'll continue over the Steelers. And I think you agree because you said you thought the Steelers were gonna lose.
Yeah, so I still believe that the Steelers are going to lose out. I believe that that Cardinals game basically just destroyed their season. And I don't think they're going to recover from it. And I think that I just simply put, I just think their luck ran out. You know, we like
Did you? I know you didn't think it was gonna be like crazy if the Patriots won, but did you take the Patriots over the Steelers that week?
yeah, I did. I 100% did.
Well, sorry, I interrupted you. Do you have anything more to say about the Steelers?
No, no, I was just saying, man, you know, luck usually always runs out, you know, and I said it last week. And I think you had even mentioned it a couple times too when you were a little disgruntled a couple weeks ago because of the AFC with like the Browns and the Bengals having injuries, and you were kind of like, I don't want to say pissed off. Well, you were pissed off that the Steelers were
Oh,
looking like
yeah.
that they were going to make the playoffs.
Mhm.
And I think simply put, like I said a couple times just now, their luck went dry, and that just is what it
Yep.
is. Changes need to be
And
made.
the Browns and the Steelers still, I mean, sorry, the Browns and the Bengals obviously still have those injuries, but they definitely found a way to surpass them a lot better than Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but I
And
think,
I was
I think even this was happening before the injuries with the Steelers. Like I truthfully believe this all would still happen.
well, yeah, but you see, I saw that they were performing. The Steelers and the Browns and the Bengals pretty much all had the same record at one point before the injuries. And I still thought that the Steelers were bad enough where because they all had the same record, they were gonna start losing traction against like, Joe Burrow. The Browns defense were gonna push them forwards and kind of bring the Steelers back a little bit. Because remember, the Bengals still had 2 games against the Steelers. So I was like, all right, so those are in my opinion, 2 losses for the Steelers. But then when the injury started happening to those 2 teams first, that's when I was like, that this gives the Steelers so much advantage because we didn't know Jake Browning was going to go off. There were so many questions at the offense for the Browns, but um yeah, I'm personally glad that things happened the way they did, especially with Joe Flacco playing very well, Jake Browning playing well, because it's no fun if your team makes it to the playoffs with no one. Like everyone gets banged up and then you just sneak your way in. Like dude, like if Purdy or if not Purdy, I don't even dare want to. Let's say like Hurts gets banged up like the final game. The Eagles aren't going to be that fun to watch during the
Well,
playoffs. It sucks.
yeah, but just for personally for me, I've never been in a town or city. I've never lived freaking 10 minutes away from a stadium. So regardless if the team was fun or not to watch, I just wanted to see what the atmosphere was like in the city for a playoff team.
True.
I get it. Yeah, obviously I know they're not an entertaining team to watch, but shit, it would have been a cool week until they lost. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I was at with it. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Uh, we don't have to spend too long on the Bills Chargers game. I think we're both going to take the Bills in this.
I'm not taking the Bills.
You're taking the
I am
Chargers?
100% taking the Chargers.
What? Oh God.
Hold on, time
Nick
out.
Wright. You are Nick Wright. Unbelievable.
Am I Nick right, or am I just like what we've seen from the? Is this not the most Bills thing of all time? First of all, I do want to say, and I know they also said this in First Things First, and I was pissed when I heard them say it because I was like, Joe's gonna hear this and think I got it from this. But I think you agree with me because I've been saying this. Josh Allen finally didn't try and be a superhero, and that went
Correct.
a very long way. I think you would agree with that against the Cowboys, right?
Yes.
Like that would agree.
Well, that's not a first things first thing. I think that's just you've been saying it since the beginning of the year. Sure, Nick Wright also said it, but it's very, very true. Meanwhile, I was gonna say Nick Wright is an idiot out here saying that he still thinks the Bills are gonna miss the playoffs. Now, can they? Yes. Should they? No.
No,
They're gonna beat the shit out of the Chargers.
hold on. Let's not let recency bias slip in here, and let's like really think about this for a second, right?
I did think about it. They play the Chargers. That's a W. I forget who they play next week, but I'm
Patriots and
pretty sure
Dolphins.
it's a
Patriots and Dolphins.
The Patriots is a W. I know they got beat by him before. I understand. The Dolphins is a toss up, but they already beat the
Oh wait,
Dolphins.
hold on. So are we just throwing like because of these last few games? Are we just throwing out the window how inconsistent of a team this is, and it has always been for years? There's literally years of evidence of this. So why now all of a sudden is it just clicking for them where they're not going to lose for weeks?
I look, it's teams that are tanking. It's teams that have no chance at doing anything. It's one team that's already mathematically been eliminated, another team that might as well be mathematically eliminated, and it's a team that has one win against teams over 500. Now, look, I know the Bills thing to do would be lose those games. I understand the Bills do lose games like that. But to say that they're not going to make the playoffs, to say they're going to lose to Easton Stick and the coachless
Hold on,
Chargers,
hold on. To
like,
say
come
that,
on, give them some credit here.
hold on. To say that they're gonna win 6 of their last 7 games, and to say that I don't think they're gonna win 6 of their last 7 games is like crazy. Like that's not crazy,
I'm
dude.
saying this
Listen,
week.
and hold
I'm
on.
saying this
Okay,
week. We're
okay,
gonna
so
start.
okay. So this week, right? I only brought that other stuff up because you brought that point up that it was crazy to me that the Bills aren't gonna make the playoffs. I don't think that's crazy, but anyways. Just and this is a thing too that I even had to realize because I'm a big fan of being like, oh, this team's tanking, right? Just because the team's tanking does not mean that the players are tanking. And in a sport, especially like the NFL, when you get some momentum going early, no matter what team you are, that goes a long way. And you know who falls apart so easily when they're faced with some discrimination is the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen in the press game the other day said, and I'm trying to think of the right quote he said. He said it felt like he was in a group project and got an A but didn't do anything. That's what Josh Allen said at the post conference. I think next game he's going to see, oh, we're playing the Chargers. He's going to go try to get his numbers up, do this and that, and I think it's going to come back to bite them in the ass. And I think the Chargers are going to win this game. Simply put.
Well, I think personally that so yes, it's a very Bills thing to lose after you beat the Cowboys. To the Chargers, I don't
And the
think they
Chiefs.
go that far.
And the Chiefs.
But well, yeah, yes, even more so. I mean, the Chargers just lost by damn near 50. Um, but you have to. So I think where we're differing from is I see the what's different about this Bills team than all the other times that they blow all this stuff and do Bills things is that it's not because Josh Allen's trying to be a super. We already said it. They're running the ball well. Last year, even before we had a podcast, I said this Bills team needs running backs. They need someone who can run this damn ball. And it felt like for the first bunch of like couple months, there's still no one who can. Well, now we let James cook. Now we know what this man can do. Now they have a threat at the running position. And what did they do with that threat at the running position? They beat the Chiefs and they beat Dallas, rolling Dallas. So, I mean, call me crazy. I'm calling you crazy. Call me crazy. I think the Bills have this one in the bag.
No, that's the thing. I'm not calling you crazy. Like, I don't think that that's an insane take. But I also don't think my take is insane either. I really don't think it is. Like, I personally don't believe, like, you're right. If they do everything that you're saying, they should win this game easily. I don't think they're going to go into this game looking to run the ball and doing everything that's been working. Nothing that the Bills have done has shown me that they're going to continue to do that. It just hasn't. So I guess we'll see. Maybe they're turning a new leaf. Maybe they are, but I just don't see it personally.
I mean, this entire Chargers team is on the IR. You got Herbert, you got Bosa, you got what's his face? Mike is Mike Williams that his name? I don't know. Eckler hasn't been playing. I mean, oh no, not Eckler. Allen, Keenan Allen hasn't been playing. I mean,
I'm very
I just don't see them doing anything for the rest of the year. I'd be surprised if they win one more game unless one of those players, maybe Allen, comes back.
You seem
Um,
very confident though that the Bills are going to win out. That's
I
crazy.
I'm not.
You
I think
just said you were though.
they're gonna win the next 2 games, and then I think they have a good chance against the Dolphins. But I would also say the Dolphins have a good chance against the Bills. I guess we'll have to see where we are that week. Right now, I'm 50-50 on it.
Mhm.
Um, Next game, Commanders, Jets. I'll take the Commanders on this. I really don't care. I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders let the Jets win because unlike the stubborn ass New England Patriots, the Commanders probably want to tank, and don't really mind looking like they're tanking. All they need is fuel to fire Rivera. I don't know who the Jets are using at quarterback. I'm not sure what happened to Zach Wilson. Um, but I don't know. I never really I think the Commanders are a little better than their record, so I'll take them in this.
Yeah, I'll go with the Commanders too. I don't really got much to add. I mean, like you said, who
Yeah,
cares?
I mean it'll be a low scoring affair for sure. I'd be really surprised if this hits double digit
Yeah.
combined. But yeah, we can move on. Um, Lions in the Vikings house. The Lions, woof. They're starting to look good again. They're starting to look like it, and the Vikings aren't. So I will take the Lions in this. It's unfortunate. It does look like the Vikings have a chance to lose out because I don't know who they play next week, but I know the final week they're in Detroit, so they have 2 weeks of Lions action. Then I don't know. I think at least 50% of the teams are better than them. So yeah, I'm pretty upset, but I'm also pretty happy because we did get a couple weeks of the pastronaut, but all in all, this team needs Kirk Cousins.
And I told you this a few weeks ago when you were parading about the winning streak and all this. I was like, you guys don't want to make the playoffs. That would be the absolute worst thing that could happen to Kirk Cousins. A great start to a season by him would get completely washed away by memes. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Mm,
I think throughout even their little slump, like I've still been pretty high on them.
yeah.
It's crazy to think that even like you said, yeah, like the Niners could easily win out or clinch or whatever, but like the
Mhm.
the Lions, the Lions still have a shot at number one. Like they do. I mean, so do four other teams in the NFC, but like, I think
Yeah.
that to them it might mean a little more just because they're the Lions. You know what I mean? And I think you agree with that. Like
Mm,
I think like everything means a little bit more to them. All these little steps into getting into the
Yep.
playoffs, like it means much
Huge
more.
steps. Huge.
So I think that
Uh,
yeah, I expect them to play up the par. But I could see the Vikings giving them a fight. I don't think it's going to be easy, but
the
we'll see
Vikings are definitely an any given week team at this point.
for sure.
All right. Browns and Texans and two very I think yeah, both of these teams won in overtime last week, which is kind of cool. Now they're playing each other, the two teams that won in overtime in the 1 o'clock games. Um, it's a tough one. This is a tough one. Do you want to go first on this? I'll say I guess what I'll say is out of everything, I am very impressed with Joe Flacco. Still riding that Joe Flacco thing. He was horrible in the first half, but he did something that the hopefully not future MVP cannot, and that's play from behind. He looked electrifying out there. Love Joe Flacco, but you're up.
Um, I love Joe Flacco too, as you know. I've told you this. Like I enjoyed watching him when I was a kid, and now I'm an adult, and he's had a fucking one of the more random resurgences that I don't think enough people are talking about.
No one is talking about it, and it's disappointing.
But as Chris Broussard would say, I'm a facts over feelings type of guy. And I think the Texans, what they showed last week to me, they showed a lot to
Mhm.
me last week. They showed a lot of heart and they're going for it. Like it's literally again, I know certain teams have tiebreakers. I don't but in the AFC South, I know that the Jags, Colts, and Texans all have the same record. Um,
Right.
so I don't know. I mean, it's weird because I'm picking the Texans, but I
Mm,
want the Browns to win. You know, um,
right.
multiple reasons.
I'm surprised by that because I know we're both Stroud fans.
Well, I want my Jags prediction to just come true. Anything to help their
Mhm.
situation.
Fair,
You know what I
fair.
mean? But I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the end of the world either way. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Texans, but I think it's gonna be a good ass game. That I
So I think it's going to be the Browns.
do.
I'm not sure if Stroud will be back in time. And even if he is, I just,
Oh,
obviously, yeah.
hold on. I mean, if Stroud's not playing, I'm taking the Browns without a doubt.
Okay.
I
But I
didn't.
was I was gonna say even if he is back, I don't he hasn't been practicing, none of that stuff. I think he should be back. A concussion 2 weeks seems appropriate for a quarterback. I just realized this should have been the best game on this palette if it was Deshaun Watson's return to Texas.
Yeah, possibly.
Dude. Yeah, after everything, Deshaun Watson
No,
in Texas.
no, there's some better games. I mean, I get what you're
I mean,
saying. I get what you're saying, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know though. Entertainment
there's
value versus story. That's what we're seeing. That's what I'm trying to. But
there's
I
two
think the
better games.
Browns will pull it together. The Texans they were in a little skid. They got out of it barely with an overtime win versus the Titans, I think, which is I know they beat the Dolphins, but they still are the Titans. Um but yeah, I'll take the Browns in this one. You also have to deal with that Browns defense, and we're talking about a rookie. If he comes back, we're talking about a rookie here, and if he doesn't, we're talking about Davis Mills here versus the Browns defense. So who knows? Um, Packers, Panthers, Packers. That was terrific. What happened with the Panthers? Go Panthers! Win one more game. Patriots lose out. Um, but yeah, I don't think the Packers are going to lose to the Panthers.
Yeah, I agree. Leave them alone.
We'll see an old friend in Adam Thielen, which will be nice. But yeah,
Proud-
Seahawks and Titans, dude.
I'm proud of
Did
this.
you watch did you watch that game-winning drive? Did you watch Drew
I watched
did
it this morning.
did you watch dude, DK Metcalf did nothing that entire game
By the way,
and then did that.
that was also why I took longer to answer you in the morning because I was actually like watching. Like I didn't just want to look at the score.
Do
And
you
I was
do you
thoroughly.
want me to piss you off though?
I mean, sure.
So Geno Smith was fully healthy on Monday and they did not play him. They played Drew Lock. Did you watch Drew Lock's interview after the game?
I didn't.
So emotional. I was like, I love this guy. This guy is fantastic. Like he was just very, is just very personable. Great guy. They're starting Geno Smith next week. That's
Mm,
what they said. And I said, why? Geno Smith was fully healthy. You chose to start Drew Lock. Drew Lock beats the Eagles. The Eagles. And a game-winning drive with like a minute left, and you go back to Geno Smith.
okay, but
I'm
you
not on
can't
board with that.
you can't just go off of one game, dog.
I ride the hot hand. Dude, Geno Smith had lost like 3 games in a row. Drew
But
Lock goes in there, beats the Eagles, but no, what I don't get is
wait,
okay,
wait,
why was Drew
wait.
Lock the choice this week? Fully healthy, performs admirably, and then you change it back to Geno. If he had
Prob-
played like shit, that's one thing.
Probably because they know they have three extremely winnable games coming up that would help them in the playoff race, and they look at it from a standpoint of not only did they just lose 3 games, it was to the Niners twice and the Cowboys. I get it, they just beat the Eagles, but come on, like that's
Okay.
crazy.
I forgot the schedule, but still, it kind of blows my marbles and it disappoints me because I really like have turned into like over the past 12 hours like a Drew Lock head. I like Drew Lock. I really do. Do you know if Will Levis is gonna play?
I have no idea.
I kind of want to take the Titans in an upset on this one. I can't
Wait,
really do
wait,
that if Will Levis doesn't play.
what were we just talking about?
Seahawks and Titans.
Oh yeah, no, but okay, yeah. I mean, dude, I get it. Like, it's a great story, but it's like you can't. You gotta go back with Gino even after that, dude. Like,
But Gino was healthy.
I know, but my point is, he was healthy, but he was still probably not feeling great. So I'm just thinking in their head, they were like, all right, we're playing the Eagles. Let's get this freaking game over with. And then we got a real solid chance to win out these next 3. So let's focus on that. Or you don't even know. Like so many other factors could have been involved in. You know what I mean? Like we just don't know.
I know. I think you stick with Lock, but
I don't think you do.
whatever.
I don't even
I'll,
understand a world where that
I'll
exists.
I'll be rooting against them, so it's okay. Um, Not for that reason, mostly for the Rams, but also that doesn't help. Um, if Levis is playing, I'll take the Titans in an upset. If it's Tannehill, then I'll take the Seahawks if Tannehill blows.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
All right. Colts and Falcons. I know you want the Falcons to win, but I think they're ass. They just lost to the Panthers. They're going back to Taylor Heineke. They have no idea what's going on. That organization is a mess. Arguably more than the Patriots, because at least we know we're sticking with Zappy. So, I said arguably. I will
What?
go with the Colts.
Oh yeah, I do. You're right. I like the Colts a lot though, and I have all year. I just think they're the better team.
I know. I said the Colts.
I know. No, no, I know, but I'm saying you said that I'm hoping that the Falcons win,
Yep,
which I
yep. In
am.
response to that, yep,
But
gotcha. They're definitely the better team.
yeah, I don't think I don't think the Falcons can win this one. I'm gonna probably go with the Colts for sure.
I think the I think the only way they could win this is with like a Bijan Robinson like career. What are they called? Legacy game for Bijan. But I don't think it's gonna happen. All right, Jaguars Bucks. What's going on? What's going on with the Prince? It's something's something's up with the Prince. I don't know if that's that high ankle sprain that's still bothering him, but he looks like ass. What what do you what? He looks horrible.
I mean, we both I think we both predicted the Ravens were gonna win last week, right?
Yes, but he looked terrible.
Well, hold on. Trevor Lawrence has looked bad multiple times this year, has he not? Like a
This was
specifically in the beginning of the season.
this was his worst, I think. I honestly guess I forget some of. I'll admit I don't have the most vivid memory of how the Jaguars or he looked at the beginning of the year. I do know that they had a little rough patch, but this is like the first time that I've like come out of like a week watching the Jaguars and been like, Trevor Lawrence was why the team didn't stand a chance in that game. Like the Ravens played beautifully. The I think that they would have won either way, but Trevor Lawrence's mistakes were taking them out of that game. Whether it was horrible clock management, which by the way, injury aside, that's not a injury factor. You know what I mean? He's just, fumbling the ball. I know he has a fumble problem, but no one even touched him. No one even touched him. He just dropped it. Those two things alone are things we've never seen from Trevor Lawrence, no matter how bad he was playing in the game. Uh, Clock management. I mean, I haven't seen it. I don't remember seeing that. And a fumble with no contact. I don't remember ever seeing that from Trevor. Interceptions, sure, obviously we've seen them. Just doing dumb plays, yeah, sure, we've seen them. Haven't seen those things. It's different kinds of bad.
So
Um,
so if you've never seen it and it happens one game, it's time to sound the alarm.
I mean, they lost three straight. He's potentially doing this because he's still injured. He's in concussion protocol right now. There's a few factors that lead into sounding an alarm here.
I'm
I'm not
just
saying
no,
it's his fault. I'm not
well,
saying it's because he's a bad quarterback or anything. I'm just saying that there's something up with him. It's probably the concussion, it's probably the leg, and they should be warning right now.
I don't think they should be worrying. I understand what you're saying, but I think I guess I just remember the beginning of the season, them playing the way that they did and being
Mhm.
able to kind of turn it around like that. Um, and especially too, I mean, if you look at, I mean, they basically, what the hell just texted me? Um, that was my work phone. Sorry. I'll look in a second. They especially too, if you look at their next three games, I mean, this is probably their hardest game. They have the Bucks, Panthers, and Titans. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
worry from a standpoint of that. I don't think this is going to be an
Mhm.
easy game. That I will say. Um, I,
Yeah.
I don't
I,
I don't know
I,
if it's time to sound the alarm on them yet, though. But I mean, I guess I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I've seen them specifically this year go through their patches from time to time and come out on top. So I just think that they just gotta take care of business these next 3 games, and I think they're gonna against the Bucks. But I'll tell you what, though, I do think it's gonna be a good game.
Oh, I'll take the Bucks over them actually. I just realized that this is going to be as long as Trevor's out of concussion protocol, Nick Wright Bowl where he wins either way. Either Trevor Lawrence wins or Baker Mayfield wins.
Right.
And I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Look, I think the Jaguars could turn it on any week, right? I'm definitely not like taking the Buccaneers, but from what we've seen lately, there's nothing that points me in the direction of saying that the Jaguars should win this game.
All right. Well, I think that's kind of bizarre, but all right, we can continue.
I mean, more bizarre than taking the Cardinals over the Falcons and somehow getting it right.
But I
All
just
right.
think that that's like recency bias. I mean, hey, whatever. Let's.
Right. Cowboys, Dolphins. Good matchup. It'll be interesting to see if Tyreek's back, but I'll take the Cowboys in it. They need a bounce back week. Um, are they on the road? That's an issue, but I don't know. I can't think that like it's that big a factor, you know? Like it's a factor for sure,
They
but like it's night and day, and I gotta think that there's gotta be a little just coincidence in that.
the first things first made that, well, specifically Broussard made it such a bigger deal about them like losing on the road and stuff. But like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess it is concerning because now that I'm looking at the schedule, they're 7-0 at home and 3-4 on the road. So like, but this is the to me, it speaks more volumes about their home record. Now you think about it from this standpoint. If they would have beat the Bills, they'd be 11-3. And they'd really be like, okay, like we can really take first place and have home field advantage throughout. Like that to me, like I think them being on the road, I think they'll still get the job done. But man, if they had home field advantage the whole way of the playoffs, that makes a difference.
Well, the other way to think about it is if they did beat the Bills, they'd be 4-3, not 3-4. So obviously just one flip, but big difference when you like say it out loud, you know what I mean?
No,
And
but I'm not talking about their away record. I'm talking about home. They're 7-0 at home.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
So they would have home
I
field advantage.
they yes, I'm not talking about the playoffs right now, though. I'm talking about this game.
Oh, it
I
doesn't
don't.
matter. It doesn't matter.
I think they should get it. I don't think they've lost consecutive games this year. I don't actually.
They
No,
they
they didn't.
they I remember they lost 2 games in a row, I'm pretty sure, when
49ers.
no, did they? I remember them talking about
No,
it.
they won after they because we had them after the Cardinals beat them. So there's one loss. Um, the the there was a loss this week. Obviously, they had one before that.
Oh, yeah, no, you're
I
right.
can't tell
Yeah, I
you who they
guess
lost to other
yeah,
than the 49ers. Yeah, they did not win. They did not lose consecutive games this year. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I like them over the Dolphins too. I think especially too because like I think they'll be able to attack the Dolphins defense a little bit better. I think the Cowboys defense will look better than it looked last week. I mean, freaking hope so. But yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. Again, I don't think it's any I don't think last week was any indication of like sound the alarm on the Cowboys. Although like it is weird though because like they do like some of their losses like do look like God like bad, but like I don't
yeah,
know. I still like them.
yep. All right, Cardinals, Bears. I'll take the Cardinals. Woo. Even though they got friggin' destroyed and the Bears held their own against the Browns, I'll still take the Cardinals.
I'll take the Bears. They've been looking good over the last couple weeks in totality.
Yeah, yeah, the Bears are definitely looking better. They kind of got their shit together. But I don't know. I think the Cardinals are gonna want to bounce back after that. We'll see, or at
Uh,
least Kyler will.
I think you just have some wishful thinking there.
That's why I said Kyler. Kyler will want to bounce back,
No, no, I'm
and
saying for another reason.
he fucking better wants to bounce back.
I think
He
you want
better.
I think you want the Patriots to get as close as they can to that one seed, as you should. But
As I was about to say, really, what about me makes you think that?
actually, I don't know because you're
Um,
way more of a Vikings fan than a Patriots fan. But let's
my ass, dude. Friggin'
continue.
now.
Let's not do this.
I'm gonna do this for about 10 seconds. If your second team, if you had one, was more prominent significantly than your first team, I'd hear a lot more about your second team than your first team because your first team, who the fuck cares? They're eliminated. It's over. Anyways, speaking of my first team,
No, you wouldn't.
yes,
You wouldn't. I
Patriots and
know. I'm
Broncos.
saying for me, you wouldn't.
But for
I
you,
know. You just
that's a you
asked me.
thing.
You just asked me.
What?
You just asked me if you were like, oh, if your second team was doing better than the first team, and I just answered you.
Wasn't a question. You don't have a second team. If
I
you
know, but
were a
you
normal human being and when
you
your
just
team
said
gets eliminated,
you just said if I did, we have this on film. We can go back and look at it. I mean,
okay,
Jesus.
all right. If the Celtics blew ass this year
Uh-huh.
and you wanted LeBron to get another ring before he retired, I would hear a lot more out of your mouth about LeBron than the Celtics because the Celtics are unrealistic.
I disagree. But
Well, that's why I talk more about the Vikings. The Patriots never had a shot this year. The Vikings did. So naturally, I'm going to be rooting more for the Vikings because I'm not delusional.
I ain't just talking about this year, but okay, continue.
Speaking of the Patriots losing, Patriots Broncos. Broncos are going to win. This was, I remember when I looked at the schedule, one of those toss-up games. It is no longer a toss-up game. The Vikings are playing for their playoff lives,
The
and the
who?
Patriots are playing for Caleb Williams, hopefully. What?
You just called the Broncos the Vikings, but that's not.
No,
You quit drinking, did you, Jimmy?
no, just me and my bottle of water.
But
Thought I had one.
yeah, no, I agree. The Broncos should win this game. I mean, there ain't much really to say on this. I mean,
And if they don't, I'm gonna be mad. We can move on. Raiders, Chiefs, another one of those where it's like, Chiefs should win this game. Like
yeah, I
they
mean,
don't. I think that we've gotten to the point where we're not, gonna be like if they do lose to some random ass bum team, but that they're better than that. It's gonna be receiver mistake. I cannot believe Kadarius Tony
I think
juggling act.
I
You'd think he's doing that on purpose at this point.
I don't know, but I think what there's gonna be like a big talk like on the shows this week. I think the headline's gonna be like they're gonna really try to hype up this Raiders Chiefs game more because of the Raiders' performance last week. And I think people are, and I know you agree with me, like they're in for a rude awakening if they think that the Raiders are gonna look like that against the Chiefs. Even if the
To
Raiders
imagine,
even if the Raiders do beat the Chiefs, it ain't gonna look like that. I think we can all agree on that. But just an
yeah, no.
interesting thing to take note of. They're gonna be pulling that shit all week on the sports shows. But yeah, I got the Chiefs.
Hey, Vegas fans are just gonna be happy they're being mentioned. Um, Giants, Eagles.
I mean, what do you want from me, man? The Giants. I've been predicting the Eagles for the last few weeks now, but the Eagles.
Wait, what'd you say?
I think I said the Giants by accident, but I meant the Eagles. I meant the Eagles. I know. No, I heard it back as I was saying it, and I was like, wait a second. I think I just said the Giants.
Yeah, no, like it took me a couple of seconds to
I think
comprehend. I
I
was
think
like,
what I
wait,
was
no, you're not.
I think what I was trying to say was it's the Giants. Like because the last 2 weeks I've kind of been
Yeah.
low on the Eagles, but like it's still the Giants.
All
So
right, I'll take if it wasn't clear by my reaction to when he said Giants, I'll take the Eagles. But I'll tell you what, I'll make this. I swear to you, sir, you're if the Giants beat the Eagles this week, I will also take the Giants in Week 18. I'll do it just because I know they're not going to. But I'll get a tattoo on my arm that says "Never a Doubt." And now on to the Super Bowl. We've got the Ravens and the 49ers. What a game. Dude, I think that the whoever was making the schedule for the primetime games was like, you gotta get through these shitty ones to get to the Super Bowl.
They're shitty
It's the
Cowboys.
MVPs going head to head, dude. This game is gonna be freaking awesome.
Um,
Last time a game was supposed to be freaking awesome, Joe Burrow and Mark Andrews.
um, I think I'm gonna have the same prediction I had last week. And it's that I think that the Ravens are gonna win because the Ravens are a good regular season team. I think they're gonna have all these amazing wins, incredible wins, and they're gonna go into the playoffs and shit the bed like they do every year. Um, and yeah, I do think they're gonna come out on top, and I think they're gonna beat the 49ers. And I think there's gonna be so much hype on them after that. Like, I mean, again,
Mm.
as there should be. I mean, if they come in and beat the shit out of the Jaguars and then come in and beat the Niners that next week, like, I get it, but I don't care how much the Ravens win. I need to see them perform in the playoffs and Lamar. I need to see him do something in the playoffs when it matters. But they're a great regular season team. So I do think that they can beat the Niners, and I think they will.
Yeah. So there's a couple reasons that I'm gonna take the Niners. It's such a good matchup. First of all, home field advantage is very important. Second of all, they're a lot healthier squad. Um, Lamar fed like I forget who he was feeding last week, but he didn't even slightly utilize Odell. Likely is getting some looks, which is nice to see that the Mark Andrews replacement, he can't be replaced, but like it's at least working out for Lamar. Um, and I guess the last reason is that the past couple of weeks I've been saying that the Ravens are going to lose their streak because this is one of the longer streaks this year, and this year is not the season to have the world's longest streak. And every week that I bet against them, they won. So I'm gonna bet against them and hope they win because I would like to see the Ravens win the AFC. Um, it also would help the Cowboys if the Ravens, I mean, I'm sorry, yeah, if the 49ers were to lose. And I got out of my car, so I didn't hear why, but I heard on the radio that for whatever reason, right now the Cowboys are above the Eagles with the tiebreaker. But if they both win out, the Eagles go above them. Not sure why or how that works. I thought I've always thought like the way of like being above someone is so stupid. I think it just be points for. That is simple, it makes sense, and is easy to understand for fans. I
Isn't
have
that what it
no
is?
idea how it's not. It is not
And what?
because they said it's something to do with like strength of schedule or some BS.
Oh,
But
I see. I actually agree with that,
but
I agree.
but yeah, no. So if the Eagles win out and the Cowboys win out, they'll reverse, which I just think is the stupidest shit. So um yeah, it would very much help those teams if the 49ers lost. I'd rather the 49ers get the bye than the Eagles, but I'd rather the Cowboys than the 49ers. But it's not about that. It's mostly about wanting the Ravens to win the game because I like the Ravens. But I guess we'll see. It should be a great game. Hopefully, um we don't see too many people get banged up like we did on that. Dude, I was so excited for that Bengals Ravens game, man. I was so happy. Why would they do that to me? Ugh. But I'll tell you what. I just thought about this is thank God they pushed the Eagles game into prime time. Could you imagine if it was played on just a random 4 o'clock on Sunday? Who knows if the same outcome definitely wouldn't have happened either because with Jalen Hurts' like illness. Like I'm not saying like he would have played or wouldn't have played, but like you know what 24 hours feels like in with an illness. 24 hours you feel a lot better, a lot worse. Like who knows how he was feeling on Sunday if he
Yeah,
would have balled out a little more.
I would have loved it, but I get it.
But yeah, I think that's that. I feel like there were a couple things that I wanted to bring up this week that I didn't, but I'll just text you on the side if I come up with any of them. But I am counting down the hours till Thursday. I am very, very excited for some Thursday night football with the Rams in a very, very meaningful game. Not only for them, but for me and my hot take at the beginning of the
Yeah, and also I can't believe it's already this weekend, but Merry Christmas to anyone watching. Happy holiday.
Ho, ho, ho. I should have put on a Santa hat for this. But
Um,
yeah,
we
Merry Christmas. Other holidays if you celebrate those as well. Um, when are you going home for Christmas, Mike?
late Friday night, and then I'll have to come back on Tuesday.
Nice. Yep, very, very excited. Like I said, last weekend, I really wish it were Sunday football, then Christmas Eve Monday, then Christmas Tuesday, but I think leap I was gonna say it'll be next year, but leap day means that everything will be pushed further another day. So it'll be Sunday football, then literally nothing, and then Tuesday Eve, then I say Christmas.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, all right. Now we're just rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for other stuff that we may or may not upload. And yeah, Merry Christmas.
Alrighty, we'll catch y'all.